Welcome back. Vulnerable people, an unattended death, and hundreds of millions of tax dollars. Right now, KARE 11 Investigates exposes new fraud allegations inside yet another rapidly expanding Medicaid program. This one meant to help Minnesotans with disabilities live safely at home. Here's investigative reporter AJ Legault with the latest findings in Housing Hustle, a Recovery Inc. investigation.
In an East Side St. Paul apartment,
found him like this, called 911.
A man is found dead.
He's got rigor and lividity, so he's been deceased for a long amount of time.
Across town, a phone rang with a call no parent ever wants.
To inform me that my son was deceased. And my first thought was, no, and start crying.
Mickey Klemmer's son, 39-year-old Rick Klemmer, died of what the medical examiner ruled natural causes, an enlarged heart. But what KARE 11's investigation uncovered through Medicaid billing records and police body cameras
Rick was last seen yesterday.
Makes Rick's mom now suspect what played an enlarged role is neglect and fraud.
If they were really providing him the services they should have been, he would be here with me.
Rick was severely mentally ill, battling bipolar disorder and schizophrenia most of his adult life.
He had never lived on his own.
Until, in the summer of 2024, he moved out of a group home and into his own apartment, supported by a Medicaid-funded program called Integrated Community Supports, or ICS.
And that's where I think things went downhill.
Rick seemed to quickly deteriorate. This is what he looked like just before moving to his ICS apartment. 8 months later, the change drastic. Overseen by DHS, the Minnesota Department of Human Services, ICS is designed to help adults with disabilities live more independently in their own apartment with one-to-one daily assistance for things like health, safety, wellness, and household management.
Vulnerable people need these services.
Was Rick getting the necessary services? Records show his ICS provider, a private company called Ultimate Home Health Services, LLC, billed $461 every single day, claiming they provided Rick, on average, almost 12 hours of ICS service daily.
What would you call what you're seeing on that piece of paper then?
Fraud. They're billing for something that never happened.
Mickey says she visited her son every week, often spending an entire day at his apartment, and never saw an ICS worker.
I can definitely confirm that those days there was nobody there. I was there. There was nobody there.
There was definitely nobody there to call 911 when Rick had a medical emergency and died alone.
When was the last time you guys seen him or known that he was alive?
Yesterday.
Around what time?
It was yesterday morning.
Time of death?
St. Paul police body cam footage, which KARE 11 worked with the Klemmer family to obtain, is a smoking gun.
I mean, to be honest, as you do, I do my daily check-ins. I have no idea what he does.
This ICS worker with Ultimate Home Health Services told the investigating officer they briefly check on Rick just once a day.
He is one of the most independent, residents here. So what am I got to do that much checking on him?
That's very different than the 12 hours of one-to-one service Ultimate Home was billing taxpayers. We wanted to ask the ICS company about their billing, but finding them is harder than you think. Their office is inside the back of an old strip mall, but no one was there during business hours. Their webpage is a skeleton. The generic placeholder address listed as Main Street, Anytown, Minnesota. According to Secretary of State records, Ultimate Home Health Services manager is Othman Mohammed. His LinkedIn page claims he's also a nurse at Hennepin Healthcare. Othman did not respond to any of KARE 11's attempts to contact him. But his company is now part of a story that in Minnesota sounds all too familiar. Alleged overbilling in a DHS-overseen Medicaid program exploding in cost.
The level of fraud in these programs is staggering.
While announcing indictments in the wake of a prior KARE 11 investigation, federal prosecutor Joe Thompson said the DOJ was also finding fraud in the ICS program and at the state capitol.
The massive fraud that is going on in ICS.
In a fraud hearing, an ICS client named Kane Pence warned that taxpayers were being billed for services he was not getting.
$276 a day in my case, and they don't do jack. They do nothing.
Carol Evans' analysis of state Medicaid data reveals ICS billing has gone up a staggering amount from $26 million in 2022 to $168 million by 2024. Back at the St. Paul apartment where Rick died, other residents were too scared of retaliation to go on camera, but shared with Carol Levin their records, which reveal hundreds of thousands of dollars per year paid for services they claim not to be fully getting.
These vulnerable people need help. You're billing for them, then give them the help. And if you're not, that's fraud.
That is the intrepid reporting from AJ Legault. They say DHS did notify AJ that they suspended this company citing credible allegations of fraud. It goes into effect December 2nd. They say to create a safe transition period for the clients that are currently living in those apartments. Wow. Stick with us. We got more news and weather after the break.